and welcome to E with Diamond. I'm thrilled to welcome Seena Ganesh today to E with Diamond Interviews, a dynamic tech leader with a global track record of driving enterprise transformation across cloud, AI, and emerging tech. Hi, Seena. How are you?
Good. How are you, Lily?
I'm very good. Thank you. It's so great to see you. I know we met in person, and I really wanted to share your story because I was inspired by it. And it's really an honor to have you here and listen to your story. So how about we dive right in? Seena, you've built an extraordinary career at the forefront of tech and transformation. But let's go back to the beginning. What drew you to the technology, and who and what inspired you to pursue this path?
To understand the inspiration, I would start off with a little bit of a story. So I think I was in second grade or something. I'm a small town girl and very patriarchal society. My dad pretty much made most of the decisions. And he decided to send my brother to an English medium school so that he gets better education. And that didn't seem right to me. And then I think I was in second grade at that time. I went on a hunger strike to tell my dad that, hey, I deserve the same. Wow. And finally, he budged and he put me into an English medium school, which was a really game changer for me. What I'm trying to say is, when people tell me that you can't do something which I think I'm capable of doing, I always want to prove to them that I can do things. And since then, I thought about becoming like a women's rights lawyer. That was my dream job. But as I started learning more about science, physics and math was my favorite subject. I liked biology, but I didn't want to go into that field. So physics always was my favorite subject. And when I was in college, that's when the whole computer science and all those things were happening. And binary mathematics was one of the subjects. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And I had a physics professor who was very inspirational. He would always come and talk about NASA, astronauts in the space, and just beyond what is in the textbook. And that was very inspirational for me. So I can say that he was one of the person who really inspired that technology is a great place to be. And another story I would say is like, being a girl from a small town, people would ask, hey, what do you want to become? And if I say, I want to become a women's rights leader or something like advocate or something like that, they would say, oh, maybe you should go for a teaching profession. And with my brother, it would be like, oh, you're going to become an engineer. So I'm like, why can't I become an engineer? Why can't I become a technologist? Why can't I become an astronaut? So I kind of had that in me. Like if somebody say that, no, you can't do it, I'm like, let me prove you that I can do it. But the true inspiration is like learning more about binary mathematics, the technology, and physics and mathematics, which really inspired me to go in this direction. And also the industry was changing, right? There were lots of jobs, lots of opportunities there, and I decided to stick with it. And I think that was the right decision in my career.
Absolutely. Well, it's fascinating story that, like when you have a lot of blockers, right? And people tell you no, you actually have this desire to prove them, wrong and actually be in action and do something, which is super inspiring. I think that's why there is some leaders that get stuck and some leaders that actually get through and keep going. And my next question is about transformation and that global scale. You've led a lot of transformations, right, across diverse cultures and technologies. What is the one lesson that you've learned about leading people, not just in processes, but through massive change?
When I think about leading people, there are three things that I always think about. One is the ability to connect with people. Second is giving them that freedom to be open and be vulnerable. It's not expected that everybody has to have an answer. It's okay to say, hey, I don't have an answer to it. Can we have a discussion? Right? Those are two basic things. And the third one is very important thing is show the purpose. Like what is the company going to do, or what is this mission about? What is the outcome that is expected, and what is in it for you, right? What do you get out by following me in this path? When those things are clear to the team, they'll come at 200%. And the rest is easy, like process and roadblocks and roadmap, anything that you want to think about, they'll help you build it. thinking that we are working as a team and all the answers are not known at this point. So any big transformation, initially it's such a blurry situation. You don't know anything, but still you have a belief that you are doing it for some purpose. And this is the result that you can expect out of it. And wow, what an excellent result that would be, right? And once that is clear, it's about constant communication, giving the confidence to the team, and then they'll put 200% into it. That's my recipe for leading people.
Yeah, it sounds like you finding a purpose, and you also understanding what your team looking to do and what's their goals, right? So you connect that, and then they are really putting their 100% or 200% into the project. That's phenomenal. And my next question is about AI. Everybody talks about it, right? But with AI redefining every corner of enterprise tech, where do you believe the true innovation is happening today? And what should future women in technology be paying attention to?
Yeah, AI is pretty much redefining every nook and corner, right? And there's a lot of focus on enterprise AI, like how AI can help productivity, and there's focus on how AI will help the experience, the customer behaviors. In specific to my field, where I'm leading omni-channel e-commerce for Staples, where I see is like when I think about where an AI will bring innovation is consumer behavior. It's going to change in a big way. Gone are the days where you'll go to a website, search for your item and click a few buttons and get the checkout done. It's more going to be more conversational based, agent based, right? One of the news that came on NPR is like on the Google page, the click-through rates are reducing. You know why? Because there are agents playing the role, giving you the answer you are looking for. So people doesn't have to click through it. So I think in my specific area, which is retail, e-commerce, and shopping experience, I think the consumer behavior is going to be changed. People will be forced to change the behavior. It will be more conversational, agent-based than going to a website and looking for stuff and clicking a bunch of buttons. But that's just about the commerce. But there are so many other areas where AI would change the behaviors and see how innovation can happen. And I think initial will be more of agent information based, like you can use agents and AI for information based. Action based will come, but people need to be much more comfortable that they can use AI to take action. For example, transfer $1 million from my bank. Who wants to do it now, right? So there will be more resistance to those kind of change, but it will happen eventually at some point.
Absolutely. Yeah, and going back to women, I know that I think women tend to really shy away of trying new things, and I'm not good enough is running their world. But where do you see them really taking a step forward and using AI? And is there any particular advice you can give to women that are just starting with AI and innovation?
I think keep learning, right? Never stop learning. Like I do take classes, I talk to people, and I read articles. So you have to really dedicate time for your learning and be curious. Like never stop being curious. That's the advice I would give, right? You are never done. You can be a better version of yourself, both from a technology standpoint and a personal attribute standpoint. So keep seeking for what you want to find and connect with people, network, learn from those networks. And I think that's for women and men leaders, that is the one important aspect for any leader is like never stop learning. And everybody in the team or outside the team has something to teach you that you can take away.
Absolutely. Thank you. That's a great advice. And thinking about your career, I rarely see where there is a career that you intersected with business and technology, leading both complex initiatives and really looking into how do you navigate the room of technologists and room of the business people. How do you do that with confidence? And what advice can you give to women who are just trying to navigate through these two fields?
I think when you start in the technology field and you grow in that career path, there is always that inhibition. Like, am I putting the right opinions in front of business people? Maybe they know more. I don't know. Can I tell this? So always that inhibition will be there. And I also experienced that. One decision I have taken in my career is like I took a 180-degree shift from just being a technology leader. I took a position where I was a product leader for 6 years. And then that position evolved into more of a client engagement, client success leader. It was a very different experience. And I would say like it shook me from my comfort zone. But it gave me so much learning about soft skills, being confident, knowing the numbers, right? That's very important too as a technologist. Like when you're in a room and you're like about to provide a technical solution, you will provide a best solution in the world, right? Think about how much money it will cost. Is it the right solution for the right time? Do you really need a Ferrari instead of a small car, right? So you got to think about what kind of solution you're building, and is it good enough for now, and can it sustain for a long term? And to get into that, you need to know the numbers. You need to know the business outcome expectations, what business is really wanting to achieve, and only then you can connect with the business team and the product in a very conversational, purposeful way. Otherwise, people will think that your solution is too much, too technical, too far fetching, and that's not really needed now. So it's very important to know the other side. And I think my experience as a product leader and client engagement leader really gave me that perspective. I'm not saying that you should switch careers to do that, but within what you're responsible for in your organization or your responsibility, think for those opportunity to work more closely with finance or work more closely with product team, work how you influence business direction, how you can talk to business about innovation. So, and communicate in a way that non-technical people can understand. That's a starting point, I would say.
No,
So
for sure. No, amazing. And just to get a scale of your role, let's talk about your team. How big of a team that you're overseeing, just in size?
it's basically around a 300 plus team.
It sounds like a really crazy number. And for me, you sound so confident, but also when you think about you talking and leading, it sounds like there's no difference between leading 5 people or 300 people. I don't meet a lot of women that are managing such a sizable team. So how do you manage the pressure and also making the right decisions? And we already know about your leadership style, but that pressure of always being judged by people and leaning to you and getting advice. So what is the balance looks like for you?
You really need to have a good leadership team. You need to hire the right people for the right talent, for the right attitude. So once you have your leaders, the right people on board, and you energize them, show them their purpose and how they can succeed with you, I think 50% of your job is done. Then it's more about reiterating, hey, what we are going to do, what is our purpose, how are we connected with the business, and coach them, right? There could be mistakes, and you coach them on every day along the way. It's not, you're not waiting for a every quarterly review with your team or your leadership team. So a lot of the success will come from delegating the right way to the right talent. So both are very, very important. You have to really look at the support team that will help you and what kind of talent you need, hire the right people with the right attitude and continuously coach them and make them see that purpose that I talk about every step of the day. And I think that's how you can, I mean, whether it is 300 or 500 or 1,000, the recipe is just the same. You need to have a very good support team, and they need to be aligned with your purpose, and then they're ready to take on and grow with you and excel with you.
Amazing. So it's your right and left hands around you that really help you elevate teams and move forward. No, that's great. And I think the last question is, looking back at your younger self, what do you tell yourself when you just entering the tech industry? And what personal values or mindset have guided you through your most pivotal moments?
What would I tell my younger self? I think just don't stop asking questions. If you don't align with what is decided for you, speak up. fight for it, what you think is right, in a very respectful way. And be curious. If you are a technologist, you have to be curious every day, like what is new coming in. And if you're a surgeon, you cut the same wound 1,000 times, and people will hire you for that. If you're a technologist, you're not cutting the same wound 1,000 times. Every day the wound is different, right? So there's new experiences, new things happening in the industry, and you have to be constantly on your toes, understanding how the world is going to change, and connect very well with your network and build that connections, because everybody has something to teach you and help you grow. So always be curious, make good connections, build great relationships, and seek out, right? Seek out for opportunities.
What makes you who you are, Seena, in terms of the top 3 things that you feel that the most valuable to yourself and your teams, and you really embrace that about yourself?
In this particular field, you got to be curious, and you have to generate that curiosity for your team and that innovative spirit, and hey, there is more to do, that kind of an attitude. And the second thing is, be open and authentic with your team. When you're communicating, you are communicating what you believe in, right? Really, whatever you are trying to achieve, be very clear to your team. So be authentic, and then be brave and bold. Be confident in every step of the way. Don't second guess and doubt yourself. It's okay to put an opinion that may not be 100% perfect. And it's okay to be vulnerable, right? You find that support system that will help you in those moments, right? Don't think that every day I am being judged. Yes, you are being judged, but your authenticity will overcome that. And the last, not least, is like push you out of the comfort zone every day, every moment. I would say be comfortable to be be outside the comfort zone. That's
Yeah.
my that's
No,
my
and hearing from you, who really reached the top, and listening to you, like really taking that step, that breaking through, being an innovator and curious, and also pushing the boundaries and trying to stay authentic to yourself is beautiful. I hope someone will definitely take a note and try to be themselves, and not fitting into some box, but really pushing the envelope and taking risks. And it was really lovely talking to you, Seena, and I hope somebody will definitely take some advice from you and move forward with a positive outlook, and also reach the top and break that ceiling that you did. Thank you so much for joining me, Seena.
Thank you so much, Juliana. It has been a great experience knowing you and working with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I'll see you guys in the next episode.